You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. Heart attack beautiful, bringing up the past. You ought to have watched the preceding video, The Stench of Desperation, to understand that as a consequence of recent disclosures about Harry's wife telling yet more porky pies, she has to fight back by asserting control indirectly by issuing the instruction to the stable of supine publications to, in the case of Vanity Fair, take it on head-on by explaining that actually it's all an insinuation by the British press, as ever. Though, of course, one might ask, was there an insinuation by the British press with South Park? No, there wasn't. You got your bottoms roundly spanked as you're humiliated by that particular episode. Nevertheless, as a consequence of things going so wrong for Harry's wife as of late, not only was Vanity Fair instructed to write a puff piece directly to try and change the situation concerning the allegations that she'd lied about not Googling the royal family, but moreover, more puff pieces have to appear. And this time, after spinning the wheel of PR puffery in some kind of bunker over in California, it falls to Marie Claire to try and do good. And the best that they can do is reach into the barrel of boredom, scrape the bottom, and pull out, yes, something that we already know about. Something that we've been told about before. And they lead in this article by Iris Goldstain. Rather, I'd think this was more likely Jizzstain, given the nonsense that it involves. The headline is, Prince Harry says Harry's wife looked heart attack beautiful on their first date. He's probably patroned the British Heart Foundation and comes out with a ridiculous comment like that. Though, no, let's be fair. He didn't come out with the comment. We all know that this section of Spare will have been heavily influenced, if not written, by Harry's wife herself, as she sits down there, staring out of the window, rewriting history, as her narcissism compels her to conjure up that scene of them meeting through the lens of Mills and Boon. The handsome prince arrived sweaty, late, a little bit disorientated. He looked upon her and thought, my goodness me, I have never seen such a beautiful vision as this lady before me. She truly has been sent from the heavens above. She is heart attack beautiful. And thus she taps away at the laptop, inserting that into the first draft of Spare. But let's see what the article has to tell us, as it dredges up the past for the purposes of looking to assert control indirectly on behalf of Harry's wife. In Harry and Harry's Wife on Shitflix, Prince Harry and Harry's wife revealed that the now Duke of Sussex was late to their first date. It might well have been the case that he was having a tactical wank, anticipating that he might get some spicy poontang after her, knowing full well her reputation for putting out early doors, and therefore thought, if I crack one off before I get there, I may well last longer. I suspect that might come in a follow-up to Spare, when there is an additional paperback issued with some extra juicy details. That's my prediction. Let's see if that comes true. But the article continues, revealed that the now Duke of Sussex was late to their first date, which almost put her off before she realised he really hadn't meant to be late. What a ridiculous comment. Most people turning up would go, do you know what? I think I'll turn up purposefully late. I think I'll just sit here on the tube and go round again. Or I'll tell my driver, pull over here for 10 minutes. I'm going to be intentionally late. A month later, Prince Harry's Spare went into detail about his first date with his wife, and it really is very sweet. Sickly sweet and invented. Red-cheeked, puffing, sweaty, half an hour late, see, told you, he had had a tactical wank, I ran into the restaurant, into the quiet room, and found her sitting at a small area on a low velvet sofa in front of a low coffee table, he wrote. Harry wouldn't have noticed the sofa, he wouldn't have noticed the table, he would have just come blundering in going, oh, yeah, sorry, late, gosh, fucking traffic, yeah, hello, Harry, nice to meet you. This, of course, is all the invention of Harry's wife, as she can hear the orchestra playing the soundtrack to this moment. She was wearing a black sweater, jeans, heels. I knew nothing about clothes. How did you know what she was wearing then? But I knew she was chic. Then again, she could make anything look chic, wrote Harry's wife about herself. I'd seen so many photos of her from fashion shoots. Indeed, I suspect that Harry had performed already his tribute to them, cracking one off and spreading his gentleman's relish across pictures of her. I'd seen so many photos of her from fashion shoots and TV sets, all glam and glossy. Yes, wiped clean, huh? But here she was, in the flesh, no frills, no filter, and even more beautiful. Heart attack beautiful. I was trying to process this, well, and understandably the case that you're going to be a bit slow there, struggling to understand what was happening to my circulatory and nervous systems. As a result, my brain couldn't handle any more data. Harry, your brain struggles when it comes to deciding, is that going to be grass or is it going to be the sea? And should you go with green, blue, or blue-green? That causes you to blow a fuse. Conversation, pleasantries, the Queen's English, all became a challenge. Eventually, though, the two began to speak of everything. What, everything? Gosh, they must have spoken very fast if they spoke of everything, and realised they had so much in common, mirroring. The initial awkwardness was gone. The warmth from our texting returned, the Duke recalled. We'd each had first dates on which there was nothing to talk about, and now we both felt that special thrill when there's too much to talk about, when there isn't enough time to say all that needs to be said. But speaking of time, ours was up. He concluded, compared to her, Cinderella was the queen of long goodbyes. LOL, what an image. Anyway, all's well that ends well, since this first date turned into many more dates, a wedding and 2 children. Sadly, the Sussexes' relationship with the rest of the royal family are a dark spot in that happy landscape these days, though royal insiders are apparently hoping for a swift reconciliation ahead of King Charles's coronation on May the 6th. We shall see. Harry's wife undoubtedly dropping that in there in the expectation that she gets an invitation to the coronation, because that's so important that she appears there. But here we have Harry's wife bringing up the past with regard to an invented recollection of how they met. Of course they did meet, but the point is the way that it's portrayed is very much through that Mills and Boon fantasy approach that she adopts, because there's absolutely no fucking way that Harry would recall it in this fashion. And instead, it's her doing. But once again, it shows the level of desperation that she exhibits, that devoid of anything meaningful to say, they have to resurrect something that has been reported on and read only in the last few weeks, and churn it out again in order to keep saying to everybody, look how heart attack beautiful I am. Look how wonderful he thinks I am. See, everybody, I am wonderful. Ignore South Park. Ignore the people lampooning us. We are in love, and I am beautiful, and therefore you must obey me. It's desperate. It is a response of her narcissism in order to deal with these repeated threats to her control, and it's utterly see-through. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.